How's it going, everyone? Alright, so today is going to be a huge update for Rust. Probably one of the biggest ones we have seen in a long time, and it is balancing and introducing the new tech tree, which I guess you could call balancing in a manner as well. So, we've got a ton of changes to go through today, and it's going to be kind of crazy. So, I'm going to try to cover the bulk of things in the beginning and then do the details towards the end. So if you want to get what's kind of in the update, you can watch the beginning and you don't have to go into the super details until the end, and you can skip that. So basically the big thing now is we have tech trees. Tech trees have replaced the ability to gamble or research in the workbench. So previously, if you didn't know, you could go into a workbench, you could put some scrap in, a set price for each tier, and it would give you a random BP you didn't have from that until you've unlocked all of them. Well, now it's an actual tech tree. So you'll see right here, we've got this whole thing, and this is basically, you've got two ways to learn things in Rust now, these tech trees or just finding the item. So you still can, let's say, let's just spawn in something random here. Let's do an AK. A lot of people have been asking about AKs. So we're going to say we got an AK. We're going to research it. We're going to go to the tier 3 bench. It's bad to have that in my hand. And we're just going to show we don't know AK, okay? So you can see right now AK's locked. And we can't learn it yet because we have to learn all these things before it. So now we're going to learn AK. And we're going to go back into this bench, and now, as you can see, we now know AK, but we can't use that to, like, let's say, go to Balti. We still have to research all this stuff before. So the tier 3 is actually the smallest, tree, so we'll go ahead and look at this one kind of to get the idea. So, basically, you're going to have to start out at the top of the tree and then branch out. So, boom, we've now got the reinforced glass window, and as you've noticed, this guy's called a glass window, and that is because it is now got glass. So there we go. Sorry, I didn't show this in my last video. I goofed on that. You can also see it has 500 health now, and yeah, it's got this glass window. That's how it looks from both sides. So it was never one you could really shoot out of that well anyway, so now this is just really something that's really, really reinforced. So heading back down into here, we'll put that away again, and open this guy. So you'll see now that we've got this, we can now progress into this tier, or that tier. And this also shows now you can get armored doors much quicker now, which is really, really nice. So boom, we'll do that, and let's just give ourselves a lot of scrap here. All right, and oh, that was weird. So then you've got this, and you're set. You can just continue on through MB5, laser sight, HV, which then gets us into Explo and Ensign. You don't have to grab the Ensign though, which was nice. Then once you've done that, it branches you off onto Explosive, which means you can get your way to C4 and rockets. So it's interesting, C4 is now before rockets. Very, very interesting. And then now that we're here, we can unlock this, which then allowed us to get Balti. Of course, we'll probably want both. And then you can see Balti and its scope is right here. So then we'll go back to tier 1, just kind of take a little browse of it. So it looks like you've got several different actual tech trees in here. You've got this one here, which starts with the bucket, and you've got this one for electrical, and then you've got this tool and a clothing one. So you've got 4 different tech trees here. The tool one, which we'll focus in on first, is going to start out with the little hammer, and then you can go on towards metal tools. Pickaxe is going to progress you through several different weapons into the early tier stuff. So that does mean, I mean, it does take a lot more scrap to get to certain things, but, and plus you also have to have the bench. It also gives you a choice to get certain things. I don't know how many wipes we've gone missing a certain thing, especially with electrical, like, oh, no root combiner, or missing a memory cell or something like that. Or maybe you don't have ladder, or you don't have ladder hatch, but you have ladder, and now that's something you can do, You can actually focus into it, and you don't have to. You can still play Rust exactly how you've been playing it, minus the gambling part. So, I mean, you can still go out to every monument until you find the exact thing you want and learn that exact thing. You don't have to use the tech tree. It's just something that I think is really nice. And the progression is testing, guys. So this month, the devs want as much feedback as they can, because next month is when they really want to kind of officially push it. So in January, they want to do a full official BP wipe with it and everything. So, you know, test this as hard as you can, guys. Push it to the limit and, you know, get that feedback back to the devs as best as you can. You know, join the official Discord. There's a channel there for staging brands where you can talk about it specifically. So that's probably the best thing there. I know the devs don't really browse Reddit and stuff like that anymore. So anyways, back to the tech trees. You can see it really is just kind of an interesting pathway to some of these. But if you look at it, it kind of makes makes sense as it progresses through. So let's go ahead and take a look at tech tree 2 here. As you can see, it starts with a Hazzy, and on news of the Hazzy, it now also has durability. So the Hazmat Suit is something that will break eventually. It takes about 30 AK shots to the chest-ish, you know, like directly, to kind of tear it through, if that kind of gives you an idea of the durability. It's so hard to kind of judge the durability. And thanks to Rustified for testing that out. That's where I got that stat from. So if it's wrong, you can blame them too. No, I'm kidding. But anyways, yeah, the Hazmat Suit does now have durability. A lot of people have been begging for a balance to the Hazmat Suit. I think that is a nice first step to see how that goes. Once you've got your Hazmat, you can then progress to Med Syringe right away and into Hoodie, Pants, and Road Sign. Road Sign has also been made cheaper with a bunch of other things, which we will cover in the end. Once you get Road Sign, that also then goes into the Road Sign Horse Armor and some horse pieces, and then you can also get Heavy Armor and Night Vision Goggles down there. If you go ahead the Sword route, you'll get Salvaged Tools, which then brings you into the next tier of weapons, which is going to progress through all of these guys here until we get all the way down to SAR Hollow Sight, which is now tier 2. Awesome. Rocket launcher and the basic rockets and SAM-site missiles. Then over here, it also can expand off into other things like the jail cells, and those actually have gotten a buff. They have 500 health. They're also cheaper, etc. There's another change we're going to show in the end there. You can see you get ladder hatch. Now, one thing I did notice, if you learn one ladder hatch, it doesn't teach you both anymore, which is a bit weird. I don't know if that's supposed to be, if that's meant to be a change. We'll just have to see how that goes. But anyways, this pumps down into a few different like electrical items. You can see the chainsaws down in here, and then you got high externals, which the gate is now tier 2 instead of tier 3 as well, which is nice. Then over here you've got the rest of the kind of like electrical stuff ending in the elevator. Over here you've got some more electronics, a computer station and turret. And then over here, you've got a branch of the car parts. So that can get you started on your cars. So yeah, that's basically the tech trees, guys. That's how that's going to work. And it's definitely going to be a huge change to the game. So I don't know about you. I'm pretty excited to see how this plays out and give it a try. So hopefully this is something that might make a nice change to Rust. Now, when it comes to changes, there is a ton. So one of the things I want to bring up is a lot of the electrical components are now stackable. I think some of these already were, like the lights. But other stuff, you can see these are all stackable. They either stack to 5 or 3. I'm not sure why certain ones are 3. Like, that weird. But one way or another, these are all stackable now, which will help a ton with storage problems. There are a few things that aren't. You'll see these electrical items here. None of these are stackable as of yet. There's also a few construction items that weren't stackable before that should be now, which is also nice. And yeah, that's kind of the really nice kind of little quality of life changes with that there. Now, before we jump into the full details of everything, there's also been some loot changes. You'll notice that the Bradley and airdrops and the heli loots have been changed to have less junk in them. That is something you kind of have to test out for yourself, but it seems like supply drops now have a chance of having like scrap, road sign armor, basic weapons, like tier 2 and under. maybe even Explo ammo, some grenades, components, stuff like that, which is really nice. So it's just kind of been updated to fit the game more, and hopefully that makes them a little more worth it, which is really nice. So that also means that a lot of the crates have been adjusted out there too, with certain things being in the tech tree. That also means that those stupid, annoying blueprint drops in barrels should be gone now that we have the tech tree. Alistair did make a commit saying removing all of those BPs from the barrels and boxes. So that's a very nice thing that the tech tree also brought alongside with it. So we do have something else that is quite nice. Last month with the update, it didn't work out to where horses and boats are supposed to spawn out in the wild again, and they do. So with this update, you should be able to find a free horse or boat every now and then again, which is awesome. You'll also find that horses are cheaper. They've dropped down to 75 scrap. The rowboat is now 125 scrap, and the rib has dropped down to 300 scrap. So those are adjusted as well. So that does mean, things can always change, guys. So a lot of people complained about the prices, and the devs agreed they were a little unfair, and they dropped them down a bit, as well as adding some wild rowboats and horses back into the mix. So that is definitely a very nice thing. Couple other things is going to be the rocket launcher now has a slower deploy time. You can actually see how much slower that is. And that is to make it equal to the reload time, so you can't just jam a bunch of rocket launchers into your hotbar and shoot off faster. So that's another little balance to that there. You can see that's definitely quite a bit slower. Look at that. Smoke grenades also stacked to 3 now and are researchable for 500. Just kidding, for 75 scrap and a workbench level 2. So now, maybe these will be used a little bit more. There you have it. And it's going to be 35 gunpowder and 50 metal frags. In addition to that, we've seen a few other little changes, like many things have reduced in crafting time as well as cost. The HE grenade radius has been reduced, and they now do 90 damage, so it's been reduced a little bit as well. Snap traps are another thing that they stack to 3, which is quite nice. Most of the electrical items, like I said, now use metal frags, so we'll go over that here shortly. And let's see, rad pills no longer kill you with the amount of dehydration. It's about 10 hydration away per pill. Pure Orti and Advanced Ortiz, they've all had their yields reduced a little bit. Medical syringe costs half the time to craft, and the med kit now gives a little bit of instant health, as you can see right there. So it bumped us up, which is really nice. That's a nice little added addition to it. Another thing, diving gear can be recycled now, which is nice. That stuff is everywhere, so you think it would just really make sense to get rid of it. It is not craftable, though, however. So that is something to kind of keep in mind there. But with all the electrical items, pretty much most of them have now been reduced to using metal frags instead of high qual. Of course, we don't have that like shown right here, so I'm pretty much... We're gonna take a little, stand outside, and you can enjoy the beautiful rainfall. And look, oh, there's a wild horse spawn right there. So there you go. That's proof of the fact that they actually do. So you can enjoy the rain as we kind of go ahead and tear through the massive list of changes going on. Let's see, the stone spear is now cheaper. It only costs 30 seconds to craft. Double shotgun costs more now. It needs 2 pipes and 25 more metal frags. The water pipe is now a little bit cheaper and crafts in 30 seconds. All of the attachments pretty much, 8 times silencer, simple sight, muzzle brake, muzzle boost, laser sight, hollow sight, have all been reduced down to 30 seconds in crafting and had their some of the prices adjusted. Then we've got the nail gun has its reload time fixed. Apparently it was actually slower than it was supposed to be, so it's a little bit quicker and is caught up with that. You can now craft a paddle without a workbench, thankfully, and you can pick up your kayak with a hammer at the cost of 25% health each time you pick it up. Of course, you can repair it. The salvage sword has more condition now, about 30-something hits. The salvage cleaver is as well, around 20 hits. Longsword 15, 16. Machete somewhere around 25. The mace is somewhere around 20. Salvage sword somewhere around 30 or so, and they've all seen some crafting time reduction as well as costs, which is quite nice for those. The python is reduced down to 30 seconds crafting time. Frag grenades are reduced to 20 seconds. Bean can to 15 seconds, which is very nice. MP5 has dropped down to 30 seconds crafting time. Revolver is 30 seconds. Double barrel is 40. Flamethrower is 40. We're looking at 40 seconds on pump shotgun, at 30 on the Thompson, 45 AR and the Balti, and 40 on the custom SMG. So those have all had reduced crafting times, which is quite nice. Like I said, the reinforced glass window has also had its crafting time reduced to 15 seconds, and the watchtower to 30, key lock down to 15. And it's a little bit cheaper. It's only 75 wood. Then we've got, like I said, the window bars have the glass, which I showed you that, and they've all been reduced a little bit in cost. Double doors were reduced in cost, and they actually are quicker to craft. So that's actually something we can take a look at here. As you'll see, a wood door is usually 300, and it's only 350 for the double doors, just a little bit more. And then you're looking at 150 and 200, and then you're looking at 20 high qual and 25 respectively. So that is actually a nice little bit of a difference there. Instead of them costing double, it's a nice little change, I would say. Moving on from that, the prison cell and wall have got, like I said, 300 HP now. They're only 30 seconds, and they're 150 metal frags, so that's not too bad. And the wooden barricade that was just added is now no longer requiring a workbench, so you can just make it on the fly, which is nice. Water catcher crafting time reduced and cost. Same thing with TC's been reduced to 30 seconds. The high external walls have been and gates have been reduced to 30 seconds. The stone ones 35 seconds each, which is quite nice. Chain link fence is now stackable to 10, and same thing with floor grills and triangle grills, which is very nice. The large furnace has been cut down to half at 40 seconds. Small furnace 30 seconds. Trough 30 seconds as well, with the bear rug and rug. And double signposts, huge signs. Pretty much all those signs, like the picture frames, the extra large picture frames, the banners, those have all been reduced down to 30 seconds. If you have any of those are going to be a lot quicker to craft now. Small oil refinery has been switched to using the large furnace placement, so it should be a lot easier to place now, and that's a nice little difference there. Research table, repair bench have been reduced to 30-second craft times, stashes to 15, so it's going to be a lot, with that and the bean cans, it's going to be a lot nicer to craft satchels, which is pretty cool. The workbenches themselves have been reduced in time down to tier 1 to 30, tier 2 to 45 seconds, which is, interesting there. Spinning wheel and a bunch of other random stuff have been brought down in their cost as well as their crafting speed. Large wooden box has been reduced to 30 seconds, which is really nice. Large furnace is 40 seconds now, which I think I already mentioned that actually. Chairs stacked to 5, drop box stacks to 5, small stashes now stacked to 5, and fish traps as well, and some other kind of like random holiday items that didn't stack should stack up to 5 as well. The wood storage box, or small box, whatever you want to call it, it's only 15 seconds, which is nice. The kayak is reduced to 30 seconds, so that is quite a nice little thing too. A lot of armors have been rebalanced. Bone fragments are down to 75 and only 30 seconds to craft the bone armor now. Then the hazmat suit, of course, like I said, has been nerfed, so that means it can also be repaired. The road sign kilt has been dropped to 30 seconds, 10 leather, 1 road sign, 2 sewing kits. The jacket has 30 seconds, 20 leather, 2 road sign, 2 sewing kits. So that is nice as well. Road sign is a little bit cheaper and maybe more worth it now, especially with the changes with the hazmat. Tank tops and pretty much all the other clothing items have all seen various reductions and changes to them with protection and so forth. That's something you just have to kind of check out there. Hoodie and pants have been reduced to 30 seconds in crafting, which is quite nice. And let's see, it's again pretty much all of the items just have been redone. The hide items now use leather instead of cloth, which makes more sense because leather is more like hide. I mean, yeah, that kind of fits together with that one there. Wood armor has been dropped down to 20 seconds for crafting time, which makes it a little bit more worth it there. Stone tools have been reduced half the time. Binoculars don't use HQ anymore, and you don't need a bench, so you can just craft them on the fly. And that is a nice little addition there. Pretty much all tools have seen a reduction in crafting time, like the salvage tools are down to 30 seconds. The satchel has been reduced to 5-second crafting time, which is really, really, really nice. Definitely have to love that. And like I mentioned, the med kit is now 10 instant health, which is nice. The med syringe was cut down to 10 seconds crafting time, which is even better. As I previously mentioned, the anti-rad pills, they give you about -10 hydration now. And to be specific on the Ortiz, the pure Orti is now 50%, and it's reduced by 50%, and the advanced teas were reduced by 35%, so they're just kind of doing some balancing there. Most ammo was reduced in cost, so that's another thing to kind of look at. Like I mentioned, the smoke grenades are now craftable, which is pretty awesome. And let's see, landmines no longer require as much gunpowder. That's been reduced to 30. Along with that, its crafting time has been cut to 20 seconds. Floor spikes now only cost 150 wood and are 30 seconds. Flame turret is only going to cost 200 metal frags, 2 propanes, and 1 gear. So they pulled the pipes and 3 of the propane tanks out of there, which is nice. It also has been reduced down to 30-second crafting time. Turrets are down to 45 seconds, and landmines are down to 20 seconds. And snap traps 30, which also stacked to 3, which I mentioned earlier. Now let's get to electrical. The audio alarm is now made. I'm not gonna go through each item's exact cost. You can look that up yourself. I'm just gonna mention which ones now have gone from high qual to metal frags. So we've got the audio alarm is now 75 metal frags. Then we've got the button, which is also 75. The counter 75. Laser detector 75. Door controller. Okay, I'm gonna basically again 75. Fluid combiner 75. Fluid splitter 75. Fluid switch and pump is 150 metal frags instead of high qual, and switch 100 metal frags. Electrical branch 75. Root combiner 75. Memory cell 75. Or switch 100. XOR 100. Large solar panel is going to be still 5 HQM but 1 tech trash. Switch is 100 metal frags now. Splitter 100 metal frags. Then we've got the igniter is now 75 metal frags. Flashlight 120. The siren light 120. Sprinkler 75. We've got the water purifier pump, or the powered water purifier, whatever you want to call it, is 300 metal frags. Water pump has been brought to 200 metal frags. Elevator 200 metal frags and 3 high qual. We've got HBHF sensor, or the heartbeat sensor, whatever you want to call it, 75 metal frags. Blocker 75 are and 75. Small generator is still rocking the high qual. Telsa coil is going to still rock the high qual. Computer station still rocking the high qual. 100 metal frags for RF Broadcaster. Wind Turbine is still rocking the high qual. RF Pager is still, no, 50 metal frags. And Searchlight has been reduced to 30 seconds. Let's see, yeah, so that's it. There you go. So all those have been switched over to using the actual metal frags now. So that's pretty much it, guys. Instruments have also seen a reduction in crafting time, but that's, you know, the DLC kind of thing. But I don't know about you guys. I'm very excited about all these changes. There's quite a bit of stuff going on, and I'm just excited to jump into the wipe and give these tech trees a try. Sound off down in the comments section below. Let me know which things you like or don't, any kind of changes you'd like to see or feedback. I love hearing that, and I'll try to get to the devs if I can. And yeah, I hope you all have a great wipe. Thanks for watching, and stay rusty.